Good morning and happy Monday, folks. And yeah, just like I predicted, my Cowboys lost. I called it. I absolutely called it. I mean, listen, as long as Mike McCarthy is our coach, we're never going to do any good. The sad part is, because I'll be honest, I didn't really watch the game because I knew what the outcome was going to be. But I remember having the tiniest glimmer of hope when, at the end of the first half, the Cowboys were winning 10-6. And, listen, how do I put this? After what happened at the divisional round last year, actually, I think it was a wild card round. Who am I kidding? After the Packers beat us in the playoffs last year, and we still didn't fire Mike McCarthy, I'm really teetering on the edge of just not being a Cowboys fan anymore. Really and truly. Listen, I can already tell you, the Cowboys, we're not going to the Super Bowl this year. At best, we'll make the wild card for the playoffs. If that happens and Mike McCarthy still isn't fired, I'm just going to stop being a Cowboys fan outright. Really. This is pretty pathetic. You can't defeat your old team in the playoffs. You can't beat the team that's beaten you now 4 times in a row, regular season and playoffs. And on top of that, you were already on thin ice going into Dallas because of the Des Cottick game. So, yeah. Listen, I was right. In fact, I'll go over all the picks I got right in a minute that my Cowboys lost. But yeah, them losing is still my low. My high is I got to participate in my first trunk or treat. I had never done that before. It was actually quite fun. Just being out and about, seeing little kids go from car to car, giving away candy. I'd never done that before. So this is a brand new experience for me. And now I can't wait till next year. That's the problem. You say you can't wait till next year, then you realize a year is kind of far away. And I got to spend the evening with my folks later. And it was a good day. You know what? Obviously between Saturday and Sunday, Saturday was clearly the better of the 2 days. But that doesn't mean Sunday was bad, even the slightest. In fact, honestly, yesterday was just as good as Saturday. Although Saturday will have the more memorable stuff. Honestly, again, I really wish stuff like this happened more often. But if I had to trudge through a lot of boring and mundane days in a row before I get to this, it's going to make those bigger events all the better. So, I'm cool with it. And what was my act of kindness? I helped set up for the trunk or treat a little bit. I tried to do what I could. That was definitely one act of kindness. There was a decoration from the Halloween party that someone brought to the trunk or treat yesterday, so that's kind of an act of kindness by proxy. So with all that said, let's go over the picks that I made. Okay, so it looks like for the most part I did pretty solid. Okay, so I was 0-1 going in because I predicted wrong about the Rams winning. So I was right about the Packers. So that's now 1-1. I can put the mouse right here. Okay. I was right about the Cardinals. So now I'm 2-1. Wrong about the Patriots, so 2-2. Wrong about the Browns, but right about the Eagles, so now I'm 3-3. 3-3. Right about both the Texans and the Lions. Oh, darn it. I accidentally clicked on something else. Hold on. So 5-3. Okay. I was wrong about the Falcons, so 5-4. I was right about the Commanders. Oh, right about the Chargers, Bills, and Commanders. So 8-4. Right about the Chiefs and the Broncos. So 10-4. And now I was right, and of course I was right about the 49ers. So 11-4. Okay. So it would appear that the worst I can do now is 11-5. But I have an NFL pick to make, so I can't believe I'm already at 121 NFL picks for the year. That's insane. 121 NFL picks. That's crazy. Just double saving real fast. Oh, actually, let me show you the thing at home. Darn it, if you can't. If you can't tell where I'm pointing, it says 11-4. Darn it. Well, take my word for it. It's 11-4. And again, I have everything. I have all my picks written down. I literally showed you what they were all yesterday. So, let me put this over there real fast. There we go. So, I was giving this a lot of thought, and there's 3 videos I absolutely need to make at some point, and I should probably do it very soon. Because I still have to do my arc thoughts for Egghead. I have to talk about Vox Machina Season 3. And I absolutely need to do... Darn it, what was the last arc thoughts I did for Dragon Ball? I'm pretty sure I did the Cell Saga, didn't I? Hold on. I'm gonna need a minute. I know, I'm so bad. I really should do a better job writing this down. So, this is 90, so... Oh, cool, okay. So, I have to do arc thoughts on the Boo Saga for Dragon Ball Z. And I need to do my arc thoughts for Egghead for One Piece. And talk about Vox Machina Season 3. You know what, I'll do my thoughts on the Boo Saga. Because I really should. Well, that and plus... It's literally been 1 month and 1 day since I did my last arc thoughts for Dragon Ball. For Dragon Ball, can you believe that? Okay, so... For those of you who don't know at this point, the Cell Saga was originally where Akira Toriyama wanted the series to end. He really did plan on having Goku pass away and, have his son Gohan be the hero of Earth, and therefore, the story would be over. But with the demand for people wanting more, and considering that at this point Dragon Ball had become what One Piece is now. Akira Toriyama he had to do more. And because it had become so popular, he really was given free range to do whatever he wanted. Now, a lot of people really like to look on the Boo Saga as a good ending for Dragon Ball at the time, but it really could have been great. While I'm not going to doubt that, we still got a very good product in the end. I mean, I'll be honest. Again, I had no idea. Remember, I'm a little kid. I had no idea what manga is. I didn't know that manga comes first before, the actual anime, which should be the definitive final product of whatever you're making. So, when I heard that new episodes of Dragon Ball Z were coming out as a kid, and it was going to feature Gohan as an adult, I'm like, I want to see more. And it was great seeing Gohan as, about to be an adult. He was like 17, 18 years old roughly. I think he might have been like 18. So, yeah, essentially becoming an adult. I'm like, where's the story going to go from here? And he's in high school now, which is what Chi-Chi, his mom, wanted to have happen. Which, okay. See, a lot of people like to think that, I'm one of those people that thinks that, over the years, Gohan, in recent years, Gohan's been great. I'll talk about more on that when I get to Dragon Ball Superhero. But there was a time when Gohan went from being the best character in the series, Cell Saga, to kind of a joke. I mean, after Gohan saved the world, there really was no imminent threat. There really wasn't any need to train, so Gohan, fulfilling the wishes of his mother, focused on his studies and started going to school. Which, alright. Seeing an older, more mature Gohan, okay. And he's still part Saiyan, so he clearly can do all the stuff that Saiyans can do, like fly, shoot, ki blast, you name it. And for all intents and purposes, I mean, after defeating Cell, who could possibly be stronger than Cell? I mean, Vegeta. Plus, let's say for the sake of argument that, Gohan loses. I mean, the Z Fighters are still out there. Piccolo, Vegeta, Krillin. I'm just naming characters off the top of my head at this point, but you get the idea. Like, where's the story going to go from here? So, Gohan outs himself for being a Super Saiyan, sort of. They refer to him as the Gold Fighter, which, okay, that's kind of cool. And so then he becomes a superhero, which was definitely goofy, but it was a fun kind of goofy. But then this one girl, who ultimately becomes Gohan's wife later, spoilers, Videl, outs him, and so, okay, I want you to join the World Martial Arts Tournament. And on top of that, Goku gets to come back for a day. Right, this is something I really should have mentioned during the Red Ribbon Army saga. But when Goku was able to fight his grandpa Gohan. But in the world of Dragon Ball, if you die, then Fortune Teller Baba can bring you back for one day. One 24-hour day. And Goku chose to come back on the day of the World Martial Arts Tournament. And this is when things get absolutely crazy. There are these two guys, Spopovich and Yamu? Anyway, these two guys working for a being called Babidi take Gohan's energy, fly back to a ship, and then comes Majin Buu, which, I mean, a lot of people really, here's the thing, in terms of being a threat, Majin Buu legit fits the bill in terms of being, truly, truly threatening. Even when he's first introduced as Fat Buu, it lulls you into a false sense of security. that thing was like the most dangerous thing in the universe, according to the Supreme Kai. And you quickly learn right away why that is. And there's just so much that happens after. I mean, Vegeta goes back to his old ways of being evil, but then has like a change of heart, which honestly led to two of my favorite moments. Like, after he defeats Goku and knocks him out, he runs into Trunks and Goten. And Vegeta's like, you know what? From the day you were born, not once have I ever held you. And he does. I mean, it was to knock him out, but that's just a beautiful moment. And then Piccolo shows up, about to take the boys away, because Vegeta's going to fight Buu alone. And then Vegeta asks, am I going to go to the same place Kakarot was? And I love that Piccolo says, I'm not going to lie to you, but you're not going to like the answer. Basically, Goku did all he could to try and save everyone, save the world, like, at least a half a dozen times. So, he was able to keep his body. You did nothing except think for yourself and were nothing but thought of nothing about yourself. So, chances are you're not going to come back. And Vegeta accepted it. And it led to one of the greatest sacrifices I've ever seen, not just in Dragon Ball, but literally in the history of anime. And yet that still didn't kill Majin Buu. And then it leads the Fusion Saga, and, Gohan apparently didn't die. Like, this arc just had, for as crazy and all over the place as this arc was, and maybe this is just a me thing, I really wanted to see where all this was going. And, I mean, I haven't even talked about Gotenks and Vegito. Oh, man, I tell you what, I loved Vegito, man. I thought he was awesome. And I like Gotenks too. I mean, I'm the kind of person that's easy to please, so forgive me if I'm not openly roasting, like, any bad parts that people deem as such. I'm just not really that kind of person. And, it is kind of, on the one hand, I do kind of see why people think it's a cop-out that Goku was brought back, and he's the one who ultimately defeats Buu. Oh yeah, I didn't even get into the forms of Kid Buu, and his ability to absorb the powers of others, including Piccolo, Gotenks, and Gohan. Like, I mean, listen, for every method of plot convenience, there has to be some sort of sacrifice or obstacle. And it really did seem like for every advantage it looked like you had on Majin Buu, it really was as if Akira Toriyama had something planned. So, I can't fault the story for that. And honestly, when it was Vegeta's idea to have the spirit bond be the reason why or Genki Dama be the reason why Goku defeats Buu, I really had the same reaction Goku had. Like, if you watch the English dub, Goku's like, okay, a spirit bond couldn't even defeat Frieza. And I took, like, everything out of the Namekian solar system. Okay, he didn't say the Namekian solar system part, but that's pretty much what happened. And then Vegeta's like, instead of taking a small amount of energy from the Earth, we're going to take a lot of it. Almost as much as you can. And it works. And against all odds, you can make a case that the MVP of this entire saga was Mr. Satan, Hercule. Like, he was the one who actually showed Buu kindness and actually made, Fat Buu, good. Like, he was present all throughout this saga. And in a lot of ways, and Piccolo mentioned this too, when Super Buu was attacking the lookout tower, and Piccolo's like, you met Hercule, right? That's his daughter right there. And Vidal's like, how does Majin Buu know my dad? And then Piccolo says, your father tried to convince Buu to be good, And he did. And then circumstances, and Piccolo was able to sense and hear all these things, so it makes sense. And if anything pick Hercule for the Boo Saga, you can make it sort of a case that he's like Usopp for One Piece. He really is the every guy. Like, he doesn't have any superpowers, or he can't fly, or he can't do anything. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean he's able to do nothing. And it showed. Again, this arc is just filled with so many great moments. And it ultimately led to the original definitive end of the series, where Boo is reincarnated as Oob, and Goku wants to fight and train him to become the next hero of Earth. And I'll never forget watching it on TV when the announcer was, find out next time on the final episode. Wait, did you say final? Like, final episode? What? Here's the thing. Dragon Ball Z was actually the first, series I technically had seen from beginning to end. I mean, I'm sure I'd probably seen others, but that was the first show I genuinely watched that I saw from start to finish, and I was just enticed by what was going on. And to this day, I'm still a fan of the series. I mean, pretty obvious I wouldn't be doing these videos if that wasn't the case. I mean, much like Akira Toriyama, I could end this series of videos here, and say it was great. But no, there's still more to go. I still gotta do Battle of Gods. I still gotta do Resurrection F, Universe 6 Tournament, the Zamasu Saga, Tournament of Power. There's a lot I gotta do. There's still much to discuss. I mean, here's the thing. I guess I can quickly talk about GT. Personally, I get why a lot of people don't like GT. And yeah, over time, I've sort of been won over thinking, you know what? Maybe GT really wasn't as great as I thought it was when I was a kid. Because I really did like GT when I was a kid. But even that show wasn't without its good moments. I mean, Super Saiyan 4 and the Black Star Dragon Saga, those were great. And Baby was a pretty solid antagonist too. I mean, I know Super 17 is kind of where the wheels fell off. But if nothing else, at the time I thought that was, what happened to Android 17 after the Cell Saga. And now you know. But yeah, GT, not a great show, but there's enough good things in it for me to say, you know what, I liked it. So yeah, there you go. I now talked about the Boo Saga and as much as anyone needs to know about GT. I hope you like this. Oh, right. I picked the Steelers to win tonight. I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow on social media. As always, I have help me this video for all you guys watching. Joe today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. Remember, these are all the talk shows here to let back. Take care and make good choices. 6-0-7 all day, baby.